What's going on, guys? This is NGO Mugen taking over for this topic. We discovered something very interesting and somewhat questionable now because apparently, as of today, Comcast has announced that they're going to be doing a 2 gigabyte per second internet service, and that's supposed to be right now outbeating and rivaling Google Fiber. So what we're wondering is this true? Are they gonna actually do this? Basically starting from Atlanta and working their way to almost 18 million different homes of the United States by the end of this year? And if so, is it gonna be affordable or is it gonna be more expensive? So with that being said, I'll give Chris a chance to talk about his thoughts on it, and then I will give Alex his thoughts, and then I will close out with it.
Well, apparently they claiming they've been doing gigabit speeds to, or I think it was 10 gigabit speeds or something really high to businesses for 5 years now. Yeah, up to 10 gigs for businesses since 2010.
Mm-hmm.
So this isn't a big surprise that they're rolling out on it. I'm surprised Comcast was the first one outside of a local carrier, or out of the major providers to challenge Google on it. I thought it would be Verizon because they have FiOS in place on a lot of locations, so it should just be a matter of them flipping a few switches to getting the bandwidth out there. Um, I am very wary of this, as most people are. In the same area, they have a 350 gigabit gigabyte. It's a gigabyte data cap per month on I think on their 50 down package. So I doubt they're going to have that because you can burn that in 6 minutes on 2 gigabits per second. But I don't think there's anything good coming out of this. Do I hear Arnold in the background?
Nah, I think that's probably the stream I'm watching. I'm gonna mute it
All right.
because apparently he was getting mad because he was getting his ass handed to him to Bloodborne. So
Unbelievable.
yeah.
Oh, do it? Nah, that doesn't deserve that. Yeah. So you got to worry about the pricing. My suspicion that'll be upwards of $200 or more a month. The real shocker would be if they deliver this for under $100 a month. You're going to see people lining up in droves to get on this if it's under 100 a month.
Yeah, I definitely agree, especially with me having Verizon Files, but right now I'm paying a very steep price due to the fact that, I'm still unemployed and I am getting good reliable service, when it comes and goes. But of course, just like any other internet provider, you have your peak hours and you have your off-peak hours. So it's all depending. But Alex, what do you think about this possible 2 gigabyte per second internet speed from Comcast? More or less, an internet service provider that was not really highly recommended.
It consistently ranks the worst company in the country on JD Power. No, not JD Power. No, there's something that rates them, and it always comes up number like in the top 5 worst every year. And the other ones are other cable and phone providers.
Yeah.
Because they have a monopoly or duopoly in most cases. It's them and the phone company, and they can shit on all their customers. That's why they're always in damage control because all these stories getting out how, through their own policies, mind you, that they're incompetent. But we could spend 8 hours talking on that. But that's the other thing. I don't think they'll deliver this service reliably, at least on the customer service side, because they pay their people shit.
Okay. Well, technically, okay, I'll believe it when I see it, first and foremost. But if they do deliver on this will be a great thing because America will catch up with the rest of the world. We are lagging behind in terms of internet speeds. Look at Japan. You know what I mean? If we had that same setup, like, well, Japan is smaller, granted, but being that we're a larger country, more resources, and I mean
It's a bigger footprint to cover.
Yeah.
And the bigger cities were equivalent to Europe for the most part. You can get most major cities. You can get 50 to 100 megabits per second. But it doesn't compete with Japan and Korea where they get gigabit everywhere. But like you said, once you leave the cities, the speed's going to the toilet. In a lot of places, The only high-speed internet you can get is satellite. And that has 2-second ping times. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, because of the relay, points and
Yeah,
stuff. But
that shit has to go up in space and come back down. That takes 2 full seconds.
yeah,
You can't do anything on that.
here's my thing. If they can make good on this promise, that'd be great because now, you can start thinking about cloud gaming, cloud computing, and so on and so forth. But again, me in my military service, I've been all over the country, and there's some places that it's going to be a lot of work to get it out to these like
But
farm areas and Midwest and all that other stuff. So, if they have a way to make that a reality and perform well, great. As far as Comcast actually, trying to go up against Google Fiber,
Google
mm,
has a much better reputation.
yeah,
If they were ever in the same area, people would flock to Google.
yeah. I used to have Comcast, my
I
family.
still, I still do. I only get 6 up on a 35 down connection. It's garbage.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say, I'll believe it when I see it. If they do make good, and there's some good reviews on it, that'd be something to check out. But as far as overall, I'll believe it when I see it. That's the best thing I can say about that. And then, what is their game plan for the rest of the world? Let's see. You got, the major cities like, with this new buffed up internet, gigabyte internet, right? But then you got the other places lagging behind. If you're playing on Xbox Live, your internet connection is faster, blah blah blah. Is it gonna start segregating? Like, hey, the gigabit people should play with each other because you're so fast the other guys can't keep up. So I don't know how that's gonna play a role, but again, I believe it when I see it, and if it performs well, good, because now we can start catching up with the rest of the world.
Yeah, but that's gonna be a very long time, even so, to still catch up because Japan will always be ahead. They're right now they're only what about a year or two ahead of us in technology. So
I
it's
think it's more
just
than that. I think it's a lot more than that.
the reason why I say that is because like normally we still get their their equipment, but the thing is it goes for a higher price. So let's say like for an example they come out with a new cell phone. They came out with like the Sony Xperia. Like the first year those phones were out, we had to export them. So basically we had to go all the way to like either Manhattan or whatever to like a foreign cell phone company.
Hmm.
And we had to go there only to buy those phones. In Japan, in US dollars, I think the phone only cost $300-400, but when it came over here, it almost came out to almost $1,500.
Unbelievable.
So we'll
I
still get it, but
I don't think the technology gap is there anymore. At least with the advent of smartphones, because now they want American products there. And as soon
Well,
as they
Japan is making robots. Look at Honda. They got that
well,
meat.
it's the same argument applies here with the internet speeds. In the major cities, you got equivalent technology. That's because that's where the progressives and the intellectuals usually are. And then you disseminate out to the rural areas. You get farmers and whatnot.
Hmm.
So there's a bias there. Because we're such a massive country, we're a country of C students. That's not my quote. I wish I remember the community who said that, but that's what we are. We have the best and brightest, and we have the worst and everything in between.
Hmm.
So, our country doesn't have a big emphasis on education and technology as some other countries do, but we have enough people where, in terms of raw manpower, we have more or more. We're equal or have more than that.
Hmm.
So I don't think that's a big issue in regards to that. But we really got off topic, didn't we?
No,
yeah.
well, yeah, it's
I forgot where the hell we were
because
going.
Nelson is steering this part, so it's all good. Blame Nelson, pointing out
no, don't
Nelson.
blame me. It's just I find it really interesting because we're getting these reports about Google Fiber starting out from where is they starting out from
They
not
were
Kentucky
they were in Provo was the second city. Salt Lake City was the first one.
was it? I'm trying to remember. I think it was
Google,
like Kansas City, I think.
Kansas City. Yeah, here, Google
Yeah.
Fiber. Here we go. Where's Fiber? Oh wow, they're in a bunch of places now. Expansion plans. Yeah, Atlanta. Oh, they're going to be in Atlanta too, apparently.
So they're slowly migrating out to the.
I think they're trying it in smaller metropolis areas
No,
at
I think I
first.
know what Comcast is doing. They want to compete against Google. Google announced Atlanta as one of their expansion cities,
Hmm.
so they're going to try and battle it out there. So I might have to take back. It will be competitively priced because there'll be competition, and
Okay.
they're probably going to piggyback on the same network Google Fiber is going to go on. That's probably why they picked Atlanta.
That could be very interesting. But now the question is with me is if we're getting Google Fiber, we're getting Comcast, we'll call it fiber, Comcast Fiber. We'll just call it that for now.
Like fiber in your diet, like that.
No, man,
Um,
no.
um,
But
um,
what is the other internet companies are gonna do about this now? Are
they're
they
gonna
gonna
have to
jump on
catch
the
up.
bandwagon?
They're gonna
Yeah,
have to catch up. Just
yeah.
just like broadband took over the, like, 56K and DSL modems.
God,
It's going to become the standard. Like
God, I hated
Uh,
that era, dude.
yeah. I mean,
yeah, oh man.
we're hey.
Those are the days trying to download games and software. My
Mm.
brother downloaded a review copy of Windows 95 from a Ware site, dial-up. I think it took him a month to get it. It's
Oh,
Some of these gamers. Wait a minute. A month.
oh
Yeah,
God.
it took him at least a week to download and we had our own phone line at the time for that. So
Wow. You know what?
4K download, 7K down.
And this new generation wasn't even born when AOL and all that. But I'm not gonna
Yeah,
go off on a
I
rant.
remember me and you both, Alex. You remember Comcast had 16 kilobit up for their cable. You remember that in the early
Uh,
Xbox days. Then they did everyone a favor and doubled it, and wow, some of the lag went away.
yeah, some of it.
Yes,
But you know what? It wasn't transmitting as much data as it's happening now. So.
yeah, that struggle was bad. I remember when I first got my AOL, I believe I had like a old what was it? A old Macintosh computer. It wasn't even like the newer models, the one that had like OS 10 and all that shit. It was like the older, outdated Macintosh ones.
Mhm.
Oh my god, dude! Trying to download a
Mm.
picture that was only about like 200 kilobits, dude.
Mhm.
I'll be there for 5 hours,
Yeah,
and
watching that.
literally you will see it go boop
Yeah,
boop.
yeah.
You see, I have some
Other,
other stories, but I can't share it online.
he's talking about all his porno pics.
No, 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 not even that. There,
Yo, I
there's
got
stuff I
scared.
would download, and I'm sitting there like waiting. You go to school, you go to work, and come back still downloading. Like unbelievable. Like, wow, we've come a long way. And then if Comcast does achieve this, what the horror stories that we had to wait, our patience. We had patience of angels. We really wanted these things, and now this microwave society, as Shinwar, refers to, or actually Noop, where it's like they want it now, 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 and the companies are trying to make that a reality, like on demand. You get it right there, you know. And considering how big games are getting, like affecting PCs and consoles, it'll make gigs or remember how kilobytes and then megabytes and megabytes get faster to download, and then now gigabytes need to be faster to download,
My
and you need
first,
to have the internet speeds to make
I,
the
I,
gigabytes not feel so bad.
yeah, I think my first hard drive was either 80 or 200 megs. I remember my first monster hard drive. It was 2 gigabits. The thing weighed 10 pounds.
Yeah, you can beat
It
somebody
took
in
it
the
took up
head with it.
yeah, it took up a 5 1/4 slot on my rig at the time.
Mhm.
Yeah, that shit was monstrous.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. Now, Nelson, for the sake of time, you want to wrap this segment up, and then we'll go on to the next one.
just make it affordable, guys. We're still broke, still going through this fucked up ass money recession. Let's make it nice and affordable. That's all.
Alrighty, alrighty. Alright, so new gaming order. We're gonna come back with probably one or two more topics for you. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on the newgamingorder.com and on Full Screen, where we're trying to make that 1,300 milestone subscribers. So please help us out with that. Tell your mama, tell your friends, tell your cousin, tell your uncle, whoever is into gaming, WWE stuff, UFC stuff. Hey, bring them over here. We could use the support. All right, so New Gaming Order YouTube portion. We out like the Juggernaut bitch. Make sure you check out our other segments, and we'll be right back.